Let's jump to that 49er defensive line. I mean, it's Ebukam, Bosa, Armstead, and Kinlaw are your front four. Um,
Willis.
Jordan Willis is
Willis.
playing incredible. Charles
Whew.
Menahue's playing incredible.
Yeah,
I mean, in spot duty, Hyder and McGill and Drake Jackson are playing really, really well.
that's
Givens
true.
was Givens is a good interior pass rusher. He was bouncing around the locker room. He was hurt for a few weeks. He's on the mend and making his
McGill's
way
a
back.
lot like Givens. Those guys are real similar. Small, quick,
Yeah.
good pass
So,
rushers.
how do you see the 49er defensive line in their matchup against Seattle's O line?
I think Jordan Willis is becoming like the key to this defensive line. Bosa's a constant. He's consistent. He's great. But they've been looking for like a bookend for him for years, and they haven't really had one consistently. Ebukam's great at setting the edge, really good player, good run defender. But Jordan Willis looks big, strong, fast. I mean, he's forcing fumbles. He's making impact plays when it matters in the second half. He's a huge addition to the defense. I think he's making an impact like Tashawn. He's on that level of like the unsung heroes of the defense the second half of the year. Jordan Willis, huge deal.
Who's the guy that's inactive? Are they going to make Drake inactive? I mean,
Yeah,
to me,
I do.
I want as many pass rushers
Mhm.
since your whole interest in this game is to rush the passer. You think you're going to have a lead, and it's going to be about him dropping back and trying to find Lockett and Metcalf all day. And you need to move. You need to have a lot of pass rush. I don't know. I think I'd activate as many pass rushers as I possibly could in this game. But then there's also Kenneth Walker running it,
Yeah,
so it's a
that's the
tough
thing.
call.
And it could
Who's
run.
inactive?
It could be a very run heavy game. And to me, I think one of the reasons the Niners defense struggled against the Raiders is they're pretty thin at defensive tackle. So whenever they go to their second D line, their second team, and their D tackles are Kerry Hyder and T.Y. McGill. And I mean, if you can double team those guys and move them right out of the way, which is what the Vegas did. So I don't know. I mean, what are their options? Is Kevin Givens coming back? He's back.
I mean, I don't know his physical status. I mean, he's had the knee.
Yeah.
He's been out pretty consistently. He looks like he's making his way back. But I don't know if he'll be back for this game or not. I mean, they have options because they're really loaded there. How concerned are you about Diamador Lenore in pass coverage, or even basically everybody in pass coverage that's not named Ward?
I'm concerned about Lenore because it feels like teams were sort of let him off the hook. Like Mosley went down, Lenore stepped in, and no one really tested him for a long time because they were so worried about the pass rush. And then I think 4 weeks ago, someone had success with it, and teams were like, "Well, we got to try something." And it's so hard to do 12 play drives against the Niners defense. You could do maybe one of them a game. So why don't you're better off just taking shots at Diamador and hoping that he panics. And I mean, he doesn't seem to be making plays on the ball. He's close. And so either he gives up a 50-50 ball or he commits a penalty. It seems like teams are going to keep doing that. And I think what the Niners will do is they'll move Travarius Ward to shadow DK Metcalf, which will work. I mean, DK Metcalf's pretty overrated. I think Ward can take him out.
I
But then
agree.
you still got Lockett on Lenore. And Lockett's not going to beat him in 50-50 balls, but Lockett's really good. Really good.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah, Lockett might be one of the NFL's best route runners. He's got great ball skills. He's just tiny. And actually that small size actually helps him. He doesn't take a lot of hits. Jonathan says he's got a donation here. He says, question for Grant. How does it work when asking questions at the presser? Seems like some people ask more than others. Is it favoritism? Great show. That's kind
It's
of
a
an
contact sport. You're in there. You don't raise your hand. It's like getting a rebound. You're waiting for the coach or the player to stop talking, and then you got to start talking first. And a lot of times, two people start talking at the same time, and it's like a little bit of a struggle to see who's going to back down first. Now, if it's a guy and a girl, usually the guy backs down just out of courtesy and lets the girl go, the woman. But if it's two guys, sometimes they'll go. They'll each say an entire sentence. And it'll be up to the coach sometime to pick who gets to go. It's a contact sport. You don't mess around.
Is there favoritism is the question. Is there any favoritism?
Is there favoritism?
Have you ever felt like, you know what?
I'm Kyle's favorite. He likes me the most.
I was in there first, but man, they went to Branch. They went to Branch.
I think they usually let us work it out amongst ourselves, right? I mean, if we start bickering, they'll just kind of hang back and be like, "You figured out." So,
Right.
Is there favoritism? Nah. Yeah, the favoritism is sometimes they'll use certain reporters' names, and the other times they won't use other reporters' names. That's the favoritism. If you get a name drop, that's a big deal.
Oh yeah. Oh, seriously.
Name drop.
You get a name drop, it's like, whew. Well, let me tell you,
He knows
Randy. Thank you.
Thank you.
Randy donates. He says, this season, the Seahawks 2-4 against playoff teams. The Niners are 6-1. Yeah. I think 49ers are better than the Seahawks.
Also, a 7 seed is not a freaking playoff team. Are you kidding? This is a whole new level of participation trophy. A 7
seriously.
seed. Okay.
I mean, they ought to get a ribbon.
9-8. 9-win team gets to be. Get out of here.